Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 19th of December. Just reading through the news this morning from the Bank of Japan. Basically, it looks like a right, I don't know, undecided, unsure of sort of meeting. It's absolutely nothing there that sort of gives you a bit of confidence that they even know what they're doing, really. But perhaps that's from my view. Anyway, basically the lines I've picked up on the from the Bank of Japan, there's little chance for us to say we will change policy next month. Well, that's there's no talk of them avoiding normalisation. Well, it's difficult to present firm picture on exit. I mean, everything on here is like it's been organised by a committee, and no one's really too sure who's in charge. Anyway, so a bit of lackluster data coming through from there. Yeah. Nothing of significance. So news today, or news events that we should be looking forward to today. Then, well, we've seen the minutes come out from Australia. There, we've had the statement from the Bank of Japan and the press conference. We've got this afternoon. We've got Canadian inflation. That's pretty much it. There you go. Right, on that note, let's move on and look at the technicals. So the technicals yesterday were a bit flat, really. A bit like a Bank of Japan meeting, really. Not really going too far at all. So I'm looking at the euro dollar here. It did manage a little bit of a sort of an upward movement, and we've since then we're in this sort of slow rise here, really. Ascending market. It's just really nothing much to be said about it. A breakdown isn't reliable on this. It's just really choking where it is at the moment. So the euro's off my list on its own today. The pound, on the other hand, the pound yesterday came off 9 o'clock onwards through, caught its S1. We saw a bit of a rally we've seen a rally this morning. I'm looking at this to see if we get a bit of a move back down towards the S1. So at the moment that does sit on my little watch list, and I say little because there's not a great deal that's sitting here. So the US dollar yen, rather pointing, I should say, in terms of the lack of clarity, and we're seeing the yen sort of give back its gains quite strongly there. Really quite a mess. For me it's not tradable as it sits there. It might have more long side. I was looking forward to next year, maybe yesterday, just discussing this, and I do see it correcting, but with the slow and uncertain future they discuss, it really doesn't make it easy, does it? Okay, Aussie dollar. Yet another day just consolidating. It is still sitting around its highs. It's been sort of tapping there. We did have, I'll have to have another check, but we did have buy orders sitting above these highs here. So we could yet get a draw up there. Again, it's just lacking any momentum in this move. Slowing down. When it does go, it'll probably go pretty well. But US dollar CAD, well, same old consolidation phase that we're running through on the lower time frame, and I really don't like this move away from the lows here. To me, that suggests there could be a further continuation now to the high. Normally when we see it, as I keep referring to this lately, when you see the consolidation and it's near the lows or near the highs, that then generally eventually it goes. When it starts pulling back and it's consolidating away, it's just less reliable. It is still down there. You could argue it's still going to roll over, but it's all about reliability when you're trading and probability, and it doesn't look so probable. So steering clear of that at the moment. New Zealand dollar, it's very much like the Aussie, really. Should follow one after the other because it's just the only difference is it's a bit messier. It did push up there into double tops yesterday, but only to fall away. And again, it's just looking a bit soft at the moment. I know it's pre 8 o'clock, but a break of that pivot might see it running back to these prior lows, but certainly no real clarity. Dollar Swissy, well, this yesterday ended up on giving us a down day, and it's sort of trending down for the week. It's to be fair, it was a mess for most of the time yesterday and consolidating. This is one of those really slow ones where you just sort of get into and you hold it for several days. Personally, I haven't got the patience to hold it just before Christmas because I don't want to hold it over the Christmas period, so I'll be leaving that alone. Euro yen's benefited from the weak yen, of course. Short term, this is sort of a little bit clearer, and what it's doing on its 4-hourly maybe, but it's quite an ugly picture. It has, let's come back a step, it has broken these prior highs just about, or it's right into these prior highs. It'll be interesting to see post 8 o'clock whether it can keep its momentum to its upside, but as I said, there seems little clarity or in the minutes, apart from they're sure they're not sure. There we go. Maybe that is clarity. Okay, the euro pound. Euro benefited over the pound yesterday. It's drifting away from these lows here. We're seeing this sort of showing the softer pound as we look through the markets. We'll come back to the pound in a moment, but I don't have a trade that I want to be looking at on this, so I'll leave it alone. Euro Aussie. Again, not really. It's just too choppy, too rangy. We can see what the Aussie's done with the US dollar. It's too messy here. Leave it alone. Euro CAD. Looks at this yesterday. It was on my short list yesterday of currencies. It's really well. It has pushed up a little bit more now here. I was looking to see if it'd break over more. It did earlier on there, around about 9 o'clock, but patience kept me out of it, and I just left it alone. The momentum just never really saw through on that one, and it's bubbled up. No clarity where it is now. Again, it's sort of sitting there. Euro New Zealand, it's a bit like a Bank of Japan meeting, this. Bank of Japan meeting, sorry, Euro New Zealand. Consolidation around these lows here. As I say, it's like inverted New Zealand dollar. These markets just not. It looks like at some stage that might break down from its monthly S1. If it does, it's good for the S2. It's a 75% chance if it can break down there and run through there. It's got a good chance, but it's just got to move first. Pound Aussie. The pound Aussie choppy. I'll just come down to the 60 minutes, see what happened yesterday. So again, the pound Aussie, the pound just weaker yesterday and slipped off up to its pivot at the moment. We'll see what happens here, but I'd rather trade the pound dollar. I did trade the pound CAD yesterday, and this I tracked the stop down to break even, and I'm sort of glad I did, because it's dancing around. Maybe if it had been a swing trade, I wouldn't have been tracking the stop anywhere yet, but it's just not really closing this movement. It's above its pivot at the moment. I don't want to be buying it, but don't want to be selling it either. So the closest I've got to a potential trade there so far, I'm just looking at the pound yen here. Again, it's I'd rather trade the euro yen if I wanted a long. It's stronger at the moment, so closest I have to anything maybe is the pound dollar at the moment. We'll see how this develops this morning, but even now it's moving. But lots of things happen post 8 o'clock, and it's well worth waiting. Okay, that's it for me on there. Let's just have a quick look at before I get shouted at, your gold and your oil. Gold wise, you see it's just consolidating now, phasing into a consolidation phase. I looked at the sentiment. The sentiment's dropped away on gold yesterday, say yesterday, but last week when the reading was taken, it's quite neutral now. He's back there. Oil, it's interesting. I mean, it did continue its little rally yesterday, quite suddenly there. Late morning into its usual afternoon sort of surge there, but I do wonder still, is it going to roll off back southbound, maybe test its trend line, maybe even dip back to its S1. It's still in bear zone for me. Looking at the equity markets, well, we've largely seen these slowly continue to push up there. The S&Ps, Dow still not far off of. It's not far off. Well, it's recently did its all-time highs, but it's hanging around those highs at this stage. Everything's just slowing down. Preparing. We normally have the Santa Claus rally, but that's most likely to come between Christmas and New Year. That's when its real move used to come. I'm looking at the FTSE here. I don't know why I'm coming down the FTSE so much, but FTSE slowed up. It was positive yesterday. The DAX still dropping over a little bit. Wary of the DAX at the moment. It could see a bigger correction from what I'm looking at here. This big bearish engulfing. Really lacking any real movement yesterday, but we might just see as we come towards the end of the month, end of the year, a bit of a correction there, a bit more of a correction there, so would certainly wouldn't be looking for the long side on that. Okay, that's me done. I wish you a great day's trading, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Take care, bye for now.